Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Now, I love me some anime. Most people would say I am an anime connoisseur, but I would say they are dead wrong because I love to just watch things like isekai trash, like Konosuba, and just all that other type of anime, even though that anime is just absolutely precious to me. But I honestly do probably read manga more than I watch anime. I am a subscriber to both Shonen Jump and Viz, so I can read as much like manga as I possibly can. Almost said anime, whoopsie. But you know, I love Japanese media, I love anime, I love manga, I love all of it. And there are a couple of anime that started me off on my anime loving journey. Now, the first anime I ever watched was actually Dot Hack Sign. That is the anime that kind of pushed me into at least knowing what it is and being absolutely fascinated with it. You know, I am an old man at 30 years old, so back when I was a wee lad over staying the night at my aunt and uncle's house, watching anime till like 3 in the morning, or just Adult Swim, I guess, that's when I first saw Dot Hack Sign. I never knew stuff like this existed. Like, I was aware of Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, but I just assumed that was a cartoon. Seeing Dot Hack Sign changed my worldview when it come to just that different type of media and animation. But like, you know, I was 7, so I was still a little new to what to expect from things like anime. But due to Dot Hack Sign, I then got into things, you know, like Dragon Ball Z, all these other things that just kind of came on Adult Swim, Toonami, just so much of it, like Gundam, and just, you name it, anything that was on around that time. But then, you know, fast forward a few years, it's about 2006 now, I'm in middle school, and after watching Toonami for a long time, I see this show that just absolutely hooks me like no other anime has ever done before. Not even Dragon Ball Z, not even Naruto, even though I loved both of those. That being Bleach. Bleach has absolutely shaped my love of anime. I have probably watched around 300 to 600 anime series, and I've watched so many at this point that I can't remember. And that journey all started with Bleach. It was no longer just something to watch after school or on the weekends or just staying up late to watch all these cool shows. It was something I was absolutely obsessed with. This was the first show that I had begged my mom to buy me season 1 of the DVD so I can make sure that I understood the full story of what was happening on Toonami when it was airing. And I honestly don't really know what it was that hooked me on it. Maybe it was the characters. Maybe it was because the world is super cool and the characters that are in that world are even better. There's just so many different things. The story was fascinating. I loved that there was these people called Shinigami that had like these super special powers, but it wasn't set in like a fantasy or an older style era like Samurai X and stuff like that. It got me to buy the weekly to monthly Shonen Jump series. It got me to actually start reading manga so I could keep up with the story, not having to wait for these seasons of anime. And again, I was just hooked. I loved it. And I loved it all the way to Thousand Year Blood War, where most people kind of dropped off on it. I adore Thousand Year Blood War. I adored it during the manga. So I have been a die-hard Bleach fan ever since it started airing here in the US. And of course, I love video games, as this channel kind of just shows you, because I have how many videos on just anime games, RPGs, just video games in general. So I've always been a little bummed that in the US, we haven't really got a whole lot of Bleach games. Like, just how many freaking Dragon Ball Z, Naruto games do we have out there? Like, way too many. So the fact that we really only have like 3 to 4 Bleach games is a little weird to me, because it is a popular series. And I mean, even One Piece has more games than Bleach. The last console Bleach game we got that is not Brave Souls was 13 years ago in Bleach, like Soul Resurrection, I believe it's called. Which that game is actually a very slept on PS3, like hack and slash, like, what is the game called? The Dynasty Warriors type of game. It's actually really good. So when I saw the announcement that we were finally getting another Bleach game after all this time, I was ecstatic. I could not believe it. I was so happy. Before I even clicked on the trailer, my thoughts were, oh man, I really hope it's like a 1,000-Year Blood War type of game to kind of tie in with the anime, or it's just like awesome 3D action adventure game to kind of go with that style that they had for the games that weren't the PSP games in that Wii game. But the one thing I really did not want was a 3D action game like the Naruto games. We do not need another anime brawler game. So I was crossing my fingers before I clicked on the trailer. And to my disappointed surprise, of course, it is a mother effing 3D brawler. Why do we have so many of these? I am so sick and tired of it. Did we learn nothing from that garbage fire known as Jujutsu Kaisen, whatever it's called, Curse Clash, I think? That game freaking sucks. We need to stop with these stupid anime 3D brawlers. I don't understand why that's all we ever get nowadays. It's so frustrating. Like, don't get me wrong, I will definitely still buy and play the game. I mean, I'm still super excited for Sparking Zero for when that comes out, because I absolutely do love the Budokai Tenkaichi games here in the US. I think those are probably some of the best 3D brawlers we have other than the Naruto games. But I just really wish it was something else, man. Bleach has such a unique style to it. It fits perfectly with like a hack and slash RPG adventure. And we have so many other Bleach 3D arena games like the PSP games that we did not get in the US. So I'm just so annoyed that we keep getting these stupid 3D brawlers. Now I will say that the story seems kind of interesting, since they did say that this is going to basically be its own story, and story points are going to diverge differently than it did in the actual anime and manga. So I mean, that's really cool. I am super interested to see what they have in line with that story. I mean, the art style looks awesome. It looks super on point to Bleach. Man, I really wish it was something else for the actual gameplay, dude. I'm just so bummed. Like, I really don't understand with gaming companies nowadays, where if they're making an anime game, why they think it's still a good idea to do a 3D brawler arena type of game. I mean, like, yeah, it works for Naruto, it works for Dragon Ball Z, because that anime is solely based, like, those two anime are solely based around kind of fighting. There's not really a whole lot of substance other than the fights. Where while in Bleach, there are a lot of fights, it also has a lot of different story elements. I mean, the anime started completely differently than how it ended. It was kind of just like a slice of life anime with fighting mixed in it. And I mean, we kind of already had the baseline for it there with that Soul Resurrection game. That was a 3D hack and slash RPG. So I really don't understand why we couldn't keep going with that direction. Again, games like the Cursed Clash in that Demon Slayer game, those games are not good, and they did not have good reception. I mean, the Demon Slayer one kind of did, but it had like no substance to it. And it's just, we really need to start stepping away from 3D brawlers, and I really hope that if we get another Bleach game, It is not another 3D brawler. And the fact that it's a 3D brawler, you know that they are gonna nickel and dime you for all the characters that you want to play as DLC, because they keep doing it over and over and over again with these newer games. They just don't put them in the base game and then add them in as DLC later. They're gonna do it in this game, and I know it. It is so obvious. Oh, you want to play as old Ichigo from the end of the series? Give us $5, please. It's so gross to even think about that they're gonna do that. Why can't we just have games that are like Hogwarts Legacy or like Elden Ring, where it's just, here you go, $60 to $70, that's the game, don't have to pay us anymore, here you go, that's all. Like, we could have had a game where we made our own Soul Reaper, where we could have chose our own Soul Reaper powers, that we went to the academy, that we trained under the Shinigami and become like a captain in our own right by ranking up and doing missions. But no, we got another stupid 3D brawler arena game. I'm so angry. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, just to rant about it and maybe create a discussion about what you think about this game, and if you also had any other ideas for what we could have gotten. I don't really want to ramble about it anymore, you know, I kind of said my piece. Again, if you guys want to discuss what you think about the game in the comments below, are you excited about it? Are you not going to touch it because it is a 3D brawler arena? And if you did want a different type of Bleach game, again, comment it down below, like the video, subscribe to the channel, you know, let's make a discussion about it. That's all I really have for this one, so my name is Riku. Take care, everybody.